I'm Devin, a developer on the SoCal on FHIR team. This is our progress on the project, Healthy Diet and Physical Activity Counseling to Prevent Cardiovascular Disease. We are a 5-member team. Joseph is the project manager. George, Tyler, and I are the developers, and Lauren is the QA. George will be joining me in this presentation. To recap, the goal of this project is to improve patients' vascular health by promoting awareness and healthy diets. To do that, we're going to build a patient-facing web application that provides the assessment and counseling necessary. This is the architectural diagram. The two major components, the app client and the server. The user interacts with the app using the client browser. This browser allows the user to log in and display views for the patient's profile and assessment. The client periodically communicates with the server using the REST web services. This updates the patient's assessments. The server is responsible for the database access, the authentications of user, and processing. The authentication layer authenticates the user's login using OAuth and only allows viewing of the secure data if it's successful. In the database interface layer, the FHIR API will be used to periodically retrieve the patient's clinical data from the MIMIC datasets. Once this data is retrieved, the process layer generates the cardiovascular risk score along with the counseling to improve the score. The result is updated in a profile PostgreSQL database in JSON format and is retrieved to client once requests. For technology, Python is the main language. We'll also use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the front end. For stack, we'll use Django framework and PostgreSQL database. To retrieve clinical data, we'll use the Python Smart on FHIR API. The other libraries we'll be using, such as Chart.js, React, Vanilla.js, and Bootstrap. The app is hosted on HStack.
For our first screen prototypes, we're going to start off with everyone's concern. Security of their personal health records, and trust us, we'll have you covered. Secondly, we want our users to have a personalized user experience while viewing and getting counsel. Welcome to the dashboard, where our users can see their personalized data, which include a trend of improvements they've made, the ability to view dated entries of their observational data, and watch a list of their most important risk factors. When our patient has new data to share with us, they'll be entering it here in the new observation entry form. After entering a new observation entry, the patient will receive a new risk score. We want to empower our patients to see how changes in their risk factors can affect their score and find out what they could have done different to achieve a lower score. A feature that we're including in our solution is counseling. After having your risk assessed, we're providing our patients with a counseling feature. This will educate our patients in improving their cardiovascular health and allow them to learn their goals so they can achieve it.
This is our research progress. We complete defining the project scope, research in HStack, WebStack, and technologies, and we also decided on the data source and assessment process. We also set up project with Docker. Currently, we're trying to host the project on HStack and retrieve the data from Mimic using the Smart on FHIR API. For our next step, we need to create the views for the front end, and in the back end, define the model, create the DB interface, and define the counseling algorithm. We also need to research on integration of OAuth 2.0. The two major concerns, how the counseling algorithm works and what to do with the missing clinical data. For the former, we will need to do more research and implement a prototype. To resolve missing data, we plan to compute using only available parameters and alert user of the missing ones.
Our updated Gantt chart shows our latest completed activities and activities going forward. We have specific members assigned to their given tasks with a planned timetable of completion. For our counseling process, we have Lauren, who will have a 3-week planned date of completion. For the front-end development, George and Lauren will have a 3-week completion date. Our back-end development will be completed by Tyler and Devin with a 3-week window of completion. For QA, we have Lauren assigned for a 1-week completion date.